In this video, we take a look at how to create a very simple fashion banner like this in Photoshop, and this is coming up. Welcome to the channel, Innocent here. Over here we make videos like this. If that is something that sounds like you're interested, kindly consider subscribing. A link to download all the resources that I'll be using in this video will be in the description, so you can download them and practice. And after you're done and you want to show it to me, you can send it to me on Instagram, and then we can keep in touch over there. Now let's get into the video and let's get started. First of all, you're going to create a new banner size, so you can press Ctrl N to open a new document over here. So Photoshop has given you a couple of measuring skills that you can use, but feet is not part of it. So in order to create something in feet, you're going to convert it into inches or any other measuring skill that works for you. So I'm going to create a 120 by 36, and then I'm going to reduce my resolution over here to 100 so that the size wouldn't be that much bigger. So over here, this is going to be 10 by 3 feet. Okay, so if you want to create something in feet, you convert it to inches, and then you can use this approach to work it out. Now after you're done with this, you go ahead and you click on create. Alright, first of all, we're going to add a gradient onto this canvas. So we go to the create new fill adjustment here, and then we are going to choose our gradient. You go into the gradient bar, and I've already set my gradient over here. So this is the gradient that I used. In case you want to use the same thing, this is the first color and this is the second hex code or the color. So you go ahead and then you click OK after you're done, and OK from here, and OK from here as well. The next thing we want to do is we go into our resource, so place embedded, and then we have this material, sort of rough material that I placed on it. So we're going to select that and place it on top of the gradient. Now this is going to fill the entire canvas, so we can open it up a little more like that. And then we go to the blend mode, set this to soft light, we right click, and then we are going to rasterize the layer over here. So we go to filter, blur, and then Gaussian blur over here, and then we can blur this out a little bit so that it kind of blends into the background. So something like this should be fine. And after you're done with this, you go ahead and you click OK. Next off, you're going to create a very simple rectangle on top of this. So we go for the rectangle tool here, and then we can create a very simple rectangle. To make sure that we are in line, we can first go to view and then new guideline, and then you can add a guideline of about 25% over here. So we are just going to go back to the rectangle, press Ctrl T, and then we are going to rotate this till it gets to the very edge of the rounded rectangle or the guide that we added. So this is how it is actually going to look like. Now after this, you can double click on the layer thumbnail over here, and then you can change the color to white and click OK. We can make a duplicate by pressing Ctrl J, and then we can go to the bottom one, drag it a bit further away like this, double click on the layer thumbnail, and then we can choose any color from here. So you can give it basically any color that fits well for you like this, and then you can push it up over here a little bit like that. Now once we're done with this, we can select the 3 of these ones or all of these 4, press Ctrl G, and we can call this the background. Now it is time to add our images. So we go inside of our resource, and then I have a couple of images that I got from the internet: Serwaa Amihere, Anita Akuffo, and then Samira Baumia. So I've taken the backgrounds of some of them off, and of course for some of them, that's because they are already photo shoot, we are not going to take the backgrounds off because it literally looks better that way. So for the main images that we're going to use, we are going to make sure that the backgrounds are taken off. So the first image that I used was this particular image here. So you double click on that, and then you place it on top of the background. So you open it up like that, and then you can place it somewhere around here. If it feels too small for you, you can still open it up. If it feels too big for you, you can then close it down like that. Now you can right click on this and then rasterize the layer. You can press Ctrl L to add a bit of levels to it so that the reds will come, and then you can press Ctrl U as well to add some more saturation to this, And you can also brighten it. Control L, drag it from right to left to brighten it, depending on the image that you're using. But if your image is fine for you, you just go ahead and then you move to the next step. So we have another image that we want to add. So file and then place embedded, one picture of Anita Akuffo, and then we place it over here. Now we want this underneath of the picture of Serwaa Amihere, so we are going to drag it underneath of this layer like that, and then we can push it somewhere around here. Alright, so the same way you can right click and rasterize the layer, and then you can add some levels to it and add a bit of saturation as well to make the picture pop up a little bit. Now you can select the two by holding Control, press Control T, and then you can transform it slightly like that and push it to the left side. So we realize that Anita's picture is a bit small, so you can select that only and open it up a little like this. Now it is time to add the images in the middle. So to do that, we are going to use the rounded rectangle over here. For the radius, we are going to go around 400, and then we can create a very simple rounded rectangle like this. You make sure that it is very small so that you'd have space at the top and bottom for other information. So I think around this one would do, and then we can change this color to white because we are just going to clip mask the images into it. So we are going to do like 4 of these ones. So we press Ctrl J and then you drag it to this side. Make sure that it is spaced out a little bit so that you can actually add stroke to it, because we'll be adding stroke to it. So I can zoom in over here. So we can select the two by holding Control and selecting the next one and press Ctrl J so that we have 2 more duplicates made, and we leave it around here. After that, you can select all the 4. So starting from this area, hold Shift and then you can select the last one here, go to layer and then distribute, and then we are going to distribute it horizontally. What this does is basically it makes sure that the spaces in between all your rounded rectangles are equal so that there will be balance in your design. Now it's time to insert the images into this. So you select the rounded rectangle, go to file and then place embedded, and then you search through your images, the one that you want to insert. So in this case, I want to insert this picture right over here. So you can position it over here, double click on it, and then you can right click and go to create clipping mask. So it automatically gets inserted into the image. If you want to get rid of the backgrounds before you insert the image, that is fine as well. So you press Ctrl T and then you can open it up slightly like that. Push it down. You just take your time to make sure everything is fine. And then you can right click, rasterize, and then add some levels and hue and saturation to it, or saturation to it to make it look popping like that. And once you are done, you can click OK. Now we want to add a stroke to this rounded rectangle. So let's select that, right click and go to the blending options here, and then we can select stroke. So this is the color of the stroke that I'm using. You click OK, and then the size is going to be around 27. So you click OK from here, and then we can automatically apply this to all the other rounded rectangles that we created. So you can hold Alt and drag it onto the second one, hold Alt again, drag it here, and you hold Alt and you drag it to the 4th one. So you can close all of these ones when you are done. Now we can go back and select our second rounded rectangle over here, go to file and then place embedded, and then we can choose the image that we want to insert. In this case, we are going to use this image, and then you right click and create a clipping mask like that, and you take your time to position it. So I'm going to speed up and do the rest of the images, and I'll catch you when I'm done. Now once you're done, you can select from the last image that you added and the first rounded rectangle, and then you can press Ctrl G to group all of that so it becomes one like this. And from there you can press Ctrl T to transform it if you feel like it is too big for you, and take your time to position it as well. So we are going to press Ctrl T, transform it some more like that, and then we are going to place one more image over here. So we go to file, place embedded, and then we are going to add this image right over here. So you transform it up to make it bigger, and you drag it to this side like so. Now you go ahead and right click and rasterize and add effect to it. And then underneath of this image, we want to add a rectangle. So we go for our rectangle over here, right click and choose rectangle, and then you can create a very simple rectangle like this. Somewhere around here should be fine. And then you double click on the layer thumbnail and choose the color white and click OK. So we can select from the first image that we added here to the last image here, group all of that and call it the images. Alright, so how about we close this up a little bit, so something like that, and then we open this image also a little bit. So press Ctrl T and open it up some more like this. I think this should be fine. Alright, so now we can go ahead and add our text. We are using only one font in this tutorial, so we go ahead and pick our text tool, and on top here we are going to write. So you press Ctrl T and you can open this up a little bit like that, and then you can take your time to position it over here. Now you make sure that this text is in alignment with the image that you've set over here, so you can just position it right over here. Press Ctrl J and you can make a duplicate, and then we are going to change that to fashion center. Alright, so after that you can press Ctrl T and make this way smaller like so, and then you can drag it to this side, something like this. You can select the two here, press Ctrl J to group them, and try to transform it as to how you really want it to be like, and then you can reposition it as well. Afterwards, we can select only the fashion center, right click on it and go to the blended options, and then we are going to add a gradient overlay to it. So we select the gradient overlay here, and this is the colors that I used. So this is the first one, okay, and then this is the second color. So once you can change it to any color of course as well, and then you can click OK and then OK and OK from here. Now we can go to the bottom, and then we are going to add another rounded rectangle over there for the contact details or the information. So we select the rounded rectangle over here, and we are going to create a very simple basic rounded rectangle and place it somewhere around here. Now you can drag this at the bottom a little bit like that, and we are going to change the color to white and click OK. Alright, so first off we are going to add the call icon and then the WhatsApp icon. So you go to file and then place embedded, and then we have the call icon over here. So you double click on it. There are some of them that you will not get it as a PNG like this, but in case you have an issue like that, I made a video to cover that up, so you can check it out. So you can place the call icon over here, right click and rasterize the layer, and then right click again, go to the blending options, and then we can select the color overlay. Now we are going to select the color from here and click OK and then OK. Now we can add the WhatsApp icon as well. So file, place embedded, and then we can scroll down to our WhatsApp icon. We press Ctrl T, transform it a little bit like that, and you make sure that you position it to be on the same line with the call icon, and then you can right click and rasterize it, and then hold Alt and drag the effect on this onto the WhatsApp icon, so something like this. And after that you're going to add your text or your call, your phone number to it. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to add my number. So we can select the whole of this text and then choose this particular color for it as well, and we take our time to position it over here. You press Ctrl T and then you can transform it a little bit like that, so you position it over here as well, and then you can select the number and the icons and take your time to reposition it to make it look way nicer. Now if you have a venue or a location, you can just come quickly over here, select this particular group, and then you push it down a little bit like that, and then you make your text smaller, and then you can add your location as well. But for the sake of this tutorial, and since we don't have any location, I think this is going to be fine. So after that we are just going to get rid of the guideline over here. Alright, so finally let's just select all of these and call them the info or contact info, something like that. So basically that's it. That's how to create a very simple basic fashion. So if you are into fashion, you can use the same thing for men's styles and all that. If you are into fashion or if you want to design something, I hope you grab inspiration from this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about this design? And if you're able to recreate this, send it to me on IG so that we will get in touch over there. If this video was helpful, a subscribe to the channel will be so very colorful. Thank you so much for sticking around to watch this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. It's Innocent here, and bye.